And here we are, yet again, right? It hasn't changed. Nothing has changed. We're back in action. Shout out to everybody here on this beautiful day after the monthly candle closed last night. You saw me in the morning. You saw me last night. You see me again. It just doesn't stop here for the crypto lifers. If you're true about crypto, if you believe in cryptocurrency like I do, and you've dedicated your life to it like I have, every single day of my life for thousands of days, I've dedicated it to cryptocurrency. We're going on many shows. Not looking amazing today. Let's break down. Let's talk about what had to happen, what we were looking for, and what could still be. So remember, if I left you last night, and we'll recap all this anyway, but we talked about watching the 15-minute and juxtaposing it with the 1 hour, saying as long as the 15-minute doesn't lose the 200, and they had a drastic dump, made it look like tonight it was going to be a massive dump, but then they ripped back up on those shorts. So if you jumped in short late, so people Friday night coming home from partying, they see shorts, they go late short, they get absolutely rocked and wrecked, right? That's kind of what happened, right? And then they kind of shredded it sideways, and then my system pans out because that's a flag touching the 21, which says you'll go at least the base of the triangle or the pole, and you go the base because it's low volume. Remember, you're not going to get the pole low volume, but you'll get the base. Stock market, you get the base. That's all you want to go for in the stock market, right? Just that's all you do in the stock market. In crypto, we go for the pole. Didn't sound right. Anyway, no homo. But anyway, so, we're looking for this to stay above the 200 moving average. You're looking for the 21 to hold too as well on the 1 hour, and it already kind of played games with it. This does look to me like a diamond. And a diamond that comes in from the bottom dumps down the bottom. So I really feel like we could extend this diamond, kind of talk about it like this. I mean, you could say, no, it broke out the diamond. It's already on the way out, and it's just retesting. I guess there's two frames of reference there. Kind of does look like it did break out of a diamond there. And it's, let's take a look at the bigger picture. And, there could be an argument for both of those. I was looking at this thing, Lightlink. It just never stopped last night after across the 200 moving average in the 1 hour. It was gone. Something brewing here with Lightlink. I have known nothing about it. The market cap's too small really for me, but I'm paying attention. That's all. I'm paying attention. Remember our Palantir trade ripping to the upside. If you got into Palantir on the 176 call, all the way up to 200 on the Friday close. That's a beautiful 25 points. I mean, you can't beat that. No stop loss got hit in the making of that trade, and it looks like we may head to 260 there as they continue to print this money to zero. You can't pump forever. It always has me kind of, So let's take a look at everything we can for Bitcoin. Let's talk about what the day could bring, and let's break it down. So today is all about the daily candle, right? We all know that. We had our monthly close. We're ready for a new month. And honestly, let's see if we can tweeze our bottom of the month. There is a chance you could long right now with a stop below this level. I might even just do this on a smaller account and just let it cook. But you just basically use this wick, or even try to use these wicks, and just see if you can make a new all-time high past these wicks, right? And that's a 6-to-1 risk reward ratio. You wouldn't even need to go there. You could just go to 117 to get a 3-to-1. You know what I mean? But my hope, maybe to that wick there. But point is, there is a chance this monthly candle will tweeze our bottom here, because that's a green next to a red, right? And they've opened together. We've already dipped a little bit. Some signs of life. But again, I mean, that's some hopium copium, but I'm showing you the if and what about it, right? Let's take a look at the weekly. Weekly just doesn't look good to me, but at least it's going to stay above weekly support at 108,005. It's kind of crucial. You need that. If you don't stay above 108.5, I mean, I don't see how you don't come down and test here, which is 104.5 and then 101, and then we're talking the POC there at 96,000. So we're not out the water yet. Look at the 777s flashing whenever I'm around. It's interesting, right? 777 sitting there too, just hanging out. There's my dad saying, "Hi, Sammy. I'm on the stream. We love you. I love you too, Dad. I appreciate you, brother." He just like manipulating time and space to say hi to his son. That's how I look at it. I don't understand. The 777's always there for me. It's crazy. And you guys see it too. It's like, and it sits there. It just kind of hangs out. Says what up. So I like this falling wedge here, kind of flag. No one's really looking at it like a flag. There may be a few other people. I don't watch anyone else's technical analysis. Every once in a while, like the next video will pop on and I will get trapped into watching something like a crypto face stream or maybe a Casper, but it's rare. I think it's been weeks since I've even looked at one other person's technical analysis. I like to just stay in my own TA. I don't even like to scan too much TA on Twitter because I've learned no matter how uninfluenced I think I am, if I listen to enough, if I hear enough, I will be somewhat influenced. So I've learned to not stay influenced, just to block out. So look, here is a lemon. I'm putting a lemon into the water. I'm going to decalcify my pineal gland. First thing I've had today is this lemon water. Actually had a shot of energy. Shout out to all my lovers of life and everybody out here kicking it with the lifers. So, the weekly looks pretty garbage to me. If it closes that way, I don't see how he wouldn't continue down. It's not a bullish candle. That is loud. 1 second. Sorry about that. That's like a couple that we met recently, and we may want to hang out with them today. So we just wanted to I don't want to be rude. You know what I'm saying? But then I'm rude to you guys, right? I can't answer the phone on the stream. But so unprofessional. Don't you have an assistant to take care of those things? I usually do, and I spend very little time on the phone. So look, if we would come down to the 3-day 200 moving average, and hit 88,000, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. And it's starting to look like it's just highly likely, right? Again, there's a few reasons why it won't happen. And I've talked about it. I've talked about how the monthly stayed above 108,003. We have to break below that to remain bearish. And we haven't done that. So the bears haven't accomplished their feat. They got to break week monthly support to really take control. Somehow the bulls have fought off that barrage, which has been interesting. It's almost like how, right? It doesn't seem likely, but it's happened. And let's move on. And then we look at the daily. And today is really about the daily candle staying above this 200 moving average. And it doesn't look already, it already has a tweezer, basically a tweezer top up here. That told you we were sick. The second a red candle closes next to a green one with 2 wicks, it's this simple, everyone. You can short the market here with the stop on the other side. The odds of you winning are high. The same thing right here. You can long the market here with a stop below this wick and see if you can get back up to this area. The odds of winning are high. Like that one won, that one won, that one won. I just attack these areas now on the daily and the 4 hour in the middle of the night. I found to do it at between 9 and 11 because the daily candle closes at 8, right? And I'm looking for that key. I'm looking for a little bit of chunk. To front run it immediately into the wick is tough. That's something I don't know because you can't really verify whether it will be a green or red candle at the time. But a little bit of chunk here. I don't like this. I like it when it's more like this. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of on its way, and there's just a little wick here, and it's finding, this is my, and then I throw the stop loss on the red candle, sometimes just here, anywhere in this area. And then you just walk away and let it cook for a couple days. It's the sweetest way to trade. You don't have to use an indicator. You don't have to know anything. You just have to know how to buy a candle body. It's so simple. I've been doing it, and I'm going to start to prove it. I did it actually a few times recently on the live, and and sometimes I do it on the 4 hour. The 4 hour is perfect here. If you could have front ran it. The second the green candle started to form, you go in with a stop below the wick right there, and you'd be in the money still right now. You'd still be in the money. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, and the thing is, the risk to reward is so tight because if it goes down, fine. And again, yes, it's high risk. They can ping you out. You could lose 4 of those, 5 of those, right? But listen, on the bigger time frames, they only really do it once or twice, right? You would have went at this one. The second this candle, the green candle gets back above the level where it can turn into a candle again. You have to understand, right? So it opens, then it opens. So we know the open is the close, so they line up. This is such a beautiful science, and so you can trade candle bodies, man, and nothing else. It's insane. I do it all the time. It's weird. Like, I started trading and I learned all the indicators, right? And I had to know what the indicators were saying. And then I started understanding support and resistance. And then I understood trend analysis, right? And then I started using fibs. And then then I started using moving averages. And now I kind of like, it's weird. It's like it's like having an arsenal. Like, I've got a bow and arrow in the back. I got the machete. I got like all these different tools. And I can decide which one I want to use at the time that makes the most sense. Like, but the 4 hour and the 8 hour and the daily now, I think I started doing this maybe a year and a half to 2 years ago. Like, it just hit one day. One day your subconscious mind tells you you've been seeing something for so long, and then you go, oh my gosh, why don't I just do that? And then you laugh out loud. Like, I remember the day I went into a daily here, put a stop loss and made money. And I was like, wow. I was like, that's interesting, right? That's how you make money. It's that simple. Like, crazy. But, and right here, I did it here too. If you remember, here we called the bear flag, and but it was all about getting above the 200 moving average on the smaller time frames that give me confidence to enter this area. And if you go to this same place on the daily, we'll go back to that little flag that I drew. If I can find it now. There it is right there. It's the same. It was the same thing. All you did is buy the green candle with the stop below that area, and like, you called the bottom, like, and then you can tell everyone you're the greatest thing since sliced bread, right? As we ran it all the way up. I ran this whole, remember, this is where I made a boatload of money while I was in Singapore. It's all been documented. Everyone saw it. Sitting there on the plane making $8,000. It was crazy. I'm teaching TA to the stewardesses on the Emirates flight, on the Qatar Airlines. Yeah, it's crazy, man. An amazing experience for sure. Absolutely beautiful. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. So yeah, I mean, today is about breaking and staying above this 200 moving average. I really want to see us eat through this wick, close the candle with it just a small wick, something like this. I don't want to see these. These are not fun. These are not bullish candles. They're bearish pin bars. Get that out of here. Close the candle with some pride, Bitcoin. Stay above the 200 moving average. So this is a big deal today, that the daily stays above that key level. And I'll teach you it if you want to know why. You can study with me and you can watch my live streams, and you can see how the micro turns into the macro and the macro turns into the micro, and we can have so much fun if you decide to open your mind. But if you're closed-minded, think everyone online is, a facetious person that can't help you, then no one will be able to help you, right? I just think everyone online was, I don't even like saying the word for the algo, but just everyone online was just not who they said they were. And I'm sure there's people that aren't, 100%, right? But you know what it is interesting too, is once we realize that all good things come to men who believe in God, and God creates every situation in your favor when you believe in God, like every situation is in your favor when you believe in God. It just means it all will go right. You're going to meet the right person. You're going to eat the right foods. You're going to take care of yourself at the right time, And you have no stress because you know that you've submitted to God and God is the creator and all is well. Anyway, the point is, once I submitted, my trading got easy. Everything in my life began to move. And maybe it's different for you. You probably, there could be someone that doesn't believe in God at all and is a great trader. Like, I'm not trying to say it has to be my way. I just like talking about what happened to me. I think it's an interesting story. Like, the guy submitted to God. Next thing you know, he was able to find gratitude every day, stay in the present moment as much as he could, and really get the juice out of life. Find success, travel the world, inspire people, and have fun doing it. And live his best life and not have to work for someone again for the rest of his life. You know what I mean? It's just like, what a beautiful story. Who doesn't want to live that story? It's a great story. I'd read that book all day long. I'd eat it up. And it comes from hard work. Anyone that goes, wow, well, look what happened. Well, the guy said, he never took a day off for 1,800 days. Really? Who? Oh, this guy, the crypto lifer, And again, forget about me. I'm just giving you the sauce to success. Forget about me. Like, it's like, there he is talking about himself and his streak again. Yes, because the streak is inspiring to me alone. The crypto lifer is not me. It's a man I created by going live every day, right? That's a person now. That's an online personality. I have to keep up with that person now. Sam Price Just like you wants to eat potato chips some days and just hang on and watch football, man. Sam Price wants to just chill sometimes. But he has to become the crypto lifer every single day, you see? I created a persona that's on a treadmill, and I got to run next to that person now and keep up with him. The crypto lifer is a demanding individual. I didn't realize who I was really working for. So Bitcoin's inside of this tight channel, right? Right here at the 200 moving average. 109,870 for BTC. And we really want to see a move here to the upside today. It's almost kind of crucial that we get it. That inverted head and shoulder, kind of this cup and handle. We got to get the juice today. We got to get the juice. The 15-minute must maintain price action above the 200 moving average, just like yesterday. But this one's a little more serious. This one's really got a hold. So we'll see. I'm in a couple longs just because I like to long, right? And I like these bottom areas here where there's a lot of fear. The fear and green index hit 23, then went back to 29. Anytime it's in the 20s or the teens, definitely, in my humble opinion, do whatever makes you happy. For me, good times to accumulate BTC. Gotta use the fear to accumulate Bitcoin. I can't be chasing Bitcoin when it's up here in the greed and everyone's buying it and it's at 126,000. See, I get depressed when Bitcoin's high. I get happy when Bitcoin dumps. It's weird because I have a long-term goal in mind of accumulating as much BTC as I can. And when Bitcoin's up here, I know that I'm buying the top and it doesn't feel good. When Bitcoin's over here, I know I'm buying closer to the bottom or the discount and it feels a lot better. So I get happy, yippee-yi-ki-yay, when they dump Bitcoin because I like these areas. These are the areas that made me and got me where I am today. Because of the fear going low and me being able to buy when most people weren't thinking it was possible, I was able to get Bitcoin on 50 cents to the dollar compared to most people. So you can either mine like Eric Trump and the American Bitcoin company that says they get 50 cents Bitcoin on the dollar, like they're mining it somehow for 60,000, 70,000 a coin, even though it's, 100 grand. Anyway, the point is, they say the efficiency algorithms and the highest miners and having a facility that's 7 football fields long and just insanity, right? But the point is here, whenever we're in this area and I bought BTC, it accelerated my net worth within 18 months, right? So it doesn't mean that's going to happen to you, and I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just telling you what I've done using this fear and greed index. Every single time I've seen those lows, it's played out. So again, you're watching the same story today. You're watching the 1 hour and you're watching the 15-minute. And we want to see that this 15-minute can break out and stay above this 200 moving average. And then, and I have this idea here for, that's this. And so I would just be watching this and this kind of shoulder, head, right shoulder too. You see that? It's got some inverted head and shoulder vibes here that could definitely propel it to the upside. 109,800 is holding tight for Bitcoin. It's funny, we got the 7 5s, the 117.5 and the 107.5 sitting there pretty. It says we could, BOOKMAP could go either way here, liquidity on either side. It's got a lot of liquidity there. This is a little thinner, but we'll see. That's a darker red. This is pretty red though. BOOKMAP likes to go to the closest red. That's just what I found. It doesn't mean it will for sure. It's not 100%. I'm just giving you the idea where these are where people have shorted. They're up here with their stop losses. This is where people who have long. They're down here with their stop losses. So we'll see what happens. And we'll go from there. Bitcoin holding 109,008. I'm looking for us to hold the 200 moving average on the 15-minute time frame and break out somewhere into the afternoon. Slowly. Not a lot of volume. Pump. Probably come back down a little bit. Pump. Come back. It'll be a shady moves and low volume on that. And it is the weekend. And they may just dump it down for a possible double bottom too. So it's sketchy trading. I wouldn't over risk, but you're going to do whatever makes you happy. I do whatever I got to do as well. And we meet somewhere in the middle. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And remember, all the coins that we talked about this week too. Remember, we gave you a bunch of, we went over a bunch of positions yesterday and all week really. And Tau kept coming up. We went over Tau multiple times. Tau did hit 537, did get a bit of a nasty pullback there this morning. That's why all coins are insane. They're like, swing trade them. But we were looking for this flag to break out, and you can say, and it does have a target of 626. And we were looking at this bigger picture too to break out. And when Bitcoin pumped and dumped, I realized this is the only thing that kind of just stayed pretty steady. Of course, it went down with everything, but it stayed steady in its structure. And so we gave the call down there, if you remember, 350. And I see it going, to these levels, 482, 685, and eventually to 1100. Bit tensor. And really on the 3-day chart, my 3 days to go to. We talked about Zcash. We went over the fact that it was getting tight again and getting ready for its next move. And boy, oh boy, did Zcash make the move, right? It was here. We had this little flag. It did break out. It gave back a lot of those gains from last night. It seemed like last night was the night to sell. Things got crazy. And where was it? Time around, 2 in the morning? Things started to sell off pretty hard. But we had this pump in Zcash and even Zen, right? We talked about both with 21 million coins, right? That Bitcoin connection. And Zen just did damage too as well. So we went over all 3 of these coins that all pumped pretty nicely. This one almost hit the target of 22. Look at that. It went to 21.85. So this one did some damage last night. It went from $12 all the way to $21. It almost doubled up last night. I mean, that's insane. And we talked about it. So we talked about this last night in the morning. So Zen doing damage. Bitcoin attempting to hold 109.8. Markets looking sketchy. So the idea here is, and it's right, I'm not trying to scare you with the thumbnail, but we lose these levels, we start to dump, the daily loses the 200, we could start to see big time lower levels. We hold the daily, we maintain, we start to accumulate and distribute and stay into a consolidation. We somehow dig our way out of one of the nastiest bearish moments that had everybody fear, and we pump to new time highs. So we're close, man. You got to have conviction. And I'm going to watch it. I know somehow, some way, I will be the one to figure it out. I will see the tweezer bottom at the right time of the daily. I'll take the highest probability shot because I have so much data stored in my subconscious mind. I have so much faith that what I believe, what I see, will be the most likely scenario. Again, I may not be 100%. I never said I was. But I truly believe that I have some of the best skills and the best information stored in my mind to nail it more than anyone out here in the game. And I truly believe that. And I don't mean to hurt anyone's feelings. I just have that much confidence in what I do, right? So I love you all. I appreciate you. I would watch the 1 hour and the 15. Same scenario as yesterday. You don't want to lose that yellow 200 moving average. They may be fishing for stops, but this time it could. You can see a possible M pattern here. And it is a diamond that came in from the bottom. Usually they do dump. So it doesn't look amazing for Bitcoin. And it's low volume on a Saturday. If anything, I'd say it almost looks like we're going to dump. But as long as we can maintain above this 200 here, we're okay. And the 1 hour looks interesting too. I got the 1 hour and the 15 together in tandem. I love you all. Be safe. Pay attention. There's only a few altcoins pumping. Don't chase. I wouldn't be chasing. But do whatever makes you happy. I'm only here to educate you and entertain you. I'll see you all tonight. Probably a little bit later. I have a high school thing that we got to do. Again, it might be around like 8:30, 10 o'clock tonight. Everyone, I love you. I appreciate you. I thank you so much for jumping on into the Saturday morning stream. I lose track of the streams. I do so many. But thank you so much for jumping on into the Saturday morning stream as we start All Saints Day here, November 1st. First day of the year. May God bless each and every one of you. I thank you all for being amazing. And I'll catch you on the next stream. Remember, the secret to success is getting started.